Hi, family. Welcome back. This one's personal. This one's Irish. And this one, it's been quiet for far too long. It's the summer of 1987. Antoinette Smith, a young mother of two, heads out for the night of her life. She's buzzing. David Bowie live at Slane Castle. Tens of thousands of people. The music, the magic, the memories. But for Antoinette, that night never ended. She never made it home. She vanished in the heart of Dublin. And 9 months later, her body was found dumped in the Wicklow Mountains. But what if I told you? She might not have been the only one. That her case fits a chilling pattern. Let's dig in. Antoinette Smith was 27 years old, a working mother, two little girls waiting for her at home in North Dublin. She wasn't famous, she wasn't rich, but she was loved. People who knew her say she was kind, bubbly, loyal. She worked a day job at Telecom Iran, what we'd now call IR. Nothing wild, nothing reckless. Just a woman trying to find moments of joy between the weight of life. So when her friend offered her a ticket to see David Bowie live at Slane Castle, she said yes. It was August 1st, a Saturday, a break from routine, a night of music and laughter. They took the bus to the concert, had a brilliant time, came back to Dublin together. But after midnight, things got a little fuzzy. Around 2 in the morning, Antoinette's friend said goodbye and headed home. And Antoinette. She was last seen near the Gresham Hotel on O'Connell Street around 2:30 in the morning. Then nothing. She just disappeared into the night, as her family would later say. She wasn't wild. She just wanted one night of music. And that night cost her everything. Let's break it down. Saturday afternoon, the 1st of August 1987. Antoinette leaves her home in Clondalkin. She's heading to Slane Castle with her friend to see David Bowie live. It's a massive event, over 70,000 people. She tells her partner she'll be home later that night. That evening, the concert is in full swing. David Bowie's on stage. Antoinette and her friend are in the crowd, dancing, singing, soaking it all in. After the show, they catch a bus back to Dublin. They're dropped off near O'Connell Street sometime after 1 in the morning. At around 2, the two women are spotted together near the Gresham Hotel. Shortly after that, maybe 15 or 20 minutes later, her friend says goodbye and heads home. Around 2:30 in the morning, Antoinette is seen alone, still near the Gresham. And that is the last time anyone sees her alive. Then silence. Her family reports her missing. The guards open a file. But the weeks turn into months. And nothing. No answers, no trace. Until 9 months later. April 3rd, 1988. A man hiking in the Wicklow Mountains in County Wicklow stumbles onto something. A shallow ditch. A body. It's Antoinette, still in her clothes, still carrying the silence of that night. How does a woman vanish from O'Connell Street, Dublin's most central road, without a single witness? Let's zoom out. Antoinette's disappearance wasn't the first, and sadly, it wasn't the last. Because in the late 1980s and early 90s, something strange was happening. Large concerts, young women leaving venues, and vanishing. Slane Castle was one of the biggest hotspots, pulling in tens of thousands every summer. Massive crowds, remote roads, late night travel. It was the perfect hunting ground if someone was looking to target women. And here's the uncomfortable part. There were at least 3 other disappearances in or around those same years, along similar routes between Meath, Dublin, and Wicklow. Same profile. Young women, coming home from a night out, gone, and in more than one case, They were never seen again. People started to whisper. Was there a predator using these crowds to blend in, following women leaving alone, pretending to offer help? And when you map it out, Slane, O'Connell Street, Glendew Mountains, you get a chilling triangle. Call it what you want, but it looks like a vanishing zone, and Antoinette's case sits right at the heart of it. Now, here's a theory that's come up time and time again, and the more you look at it, the more it starts to make sense. In the 1980s, especially in Dublin, unofficial taxis were everywhere. No apps, no regulation, no license plates you could track. Just guys with cars offering lifts to people who didn't want to wait in line. It was late. Antoinette was alone, and she was trying to get home. So here's the question. Was she picked up by someone she thought she could trust? There were reports years later of women being assaulted by men pretending to be taxi drivers. Some were never caught. And there were whispers in the 90s that the Gards had tip-offs about a man operating near concert routes, offering lifts, and then vanishing into the night. No one's ever confirmed that officially, but it fits because Antoinette didn't walk to Wicklow. Someone took her there. And if you know those mountains, you know they're not a place you stumble onto by accident. Someone knew the roads, knew how to disappear, and maybe knew how to look like just another helpful driver. Let's talk about the evidence, or rather, the lack of it. 1987 was a different world. There were no CCTV cameras on O'Connell Street, no mobile phones to ping, no digital trail to follow. The last sighting of Antoinette was on one of the busiest roads in the country, and still not a single confirmed witness after that moment. Not one camera, not one footprint. Then there's the 9-month delay. Her body wasn't discovered until the following April. By that point, weather had destroyed everything. Clothes were intact, but no visible signs of violence. No cause of death could be confirmed. And the scene. It was the Glendew Mountains, open, exposed, weather-beaten. By the time investigators got there, whatever was left was barely evidence anymore. And here's the part that hurts. The initial missing person case didn't trigger a full-scale public appeal. Not right away. There was no massive media push. No ground search with dogs. It was just quiet. Imagine if this happened today. There'd be security footage, cell phone data, forensic scans of the ditch. It would be a full national operation. But back then, Antoinette slipped through the cracks. And now, nearly 4 decades later, we're still trying to piece together a crime scene that was never really collected. Let's think about the killer. Not in a horror movie way, but logically, like investigators do. Antoinette's clothes were found intact. That tells us something. This likely wasn't a frenzied, chaotic attack. It wasn't someone who lost control in the moment. This felt planned. She wasn't buried. Her body was placed, left in a ditch in the Glendew Mountains. Remote, cold, hard to find. It's not somewhere you'd end up by accident. Whoever brought her there knew the area, knew how to get in, and more importantly, how to get out without being seen. Modern profiling would call this a sign of control. A calm, confident offender. Maybe someone who's done this before. Maybe someone who watched her, followed her, and waited for the right moment. And here's the twist that still chills me. They didn't hide her. Not really. Not deep in a forest. Not under a pile of leaves. Just a shallow ditch 9 months from discovery. Almost like they didn't care if she was found. Or worse, they wanted her to be. This wasn't random. This wasn't reckless. Whoever did this took their time. In July 2025, nearly 38 years after Antoinette vanished, The Guards renewed their public appeal. Again, same case, same woman, same mountain road. So what changed? Why now? They didn't say much. No new suspect, no new evidence announced, just a quiet reminder. They're still asking for help, and that silence, that makes you wonder. Did someone finally come forward? Was there a new tip, a deathbed confession, a DNA breakthrough sitting in a lab somewhere? Or is there pressure behind the scenes? A cold case unit chasing threads the public never hears about. Because make no mistake, these appeals aren't random. They cost time, money, resources. So when the Guards go public after almost 4 decades, you have to ask, is this the moment where something finally cracked? Or is someone out there feeling the pressure? Either way, something has shifted, and the case isn't as cold as it used to be. Let's look at the theories, not wild guesses, not internet rabbit holes, just what makes sense based on what we know. Theory 1. Wrong place, wrong time. Antoinette was alone. It was late. She may have been targeted by an opportunist, someone driving through the city, waiting for a moment like this. A stranger, a chance encounter, a quick decision that ended a life. Theory 2. She was followed. This is the one that sticks with people. The idea that someone noticed her at the concert, on the bus, or in the crowd on O'Connell Street and waited. A stalker, a man who saw an opportunity and took it. Theory 3. She knew her killer, someone she spoke to that night, a friend of a friend, a coworker she ran into, someone who offered a lift and she accepted. Trust was involved. That's what makes this one so painful. No struggle, no scream, just gone. We don't know which theory is true, but here's what we do know. Someone out there has lived with a secret for 38 years. And secrets, they don't stay buried forever, because time doesn't forget and guilt doesn't sleep. Antoinette Smith was a mother, a daughter, a woman who just wanted one night to feel free, to dance, to sing, to live. She didn't ask for any of this. She didn't deserve what happened. And her daughters, they grew up without answers. This case isn't just about justice. It's about memory. It's about not letting her name fade into another unsolved file buried in a dusty drawer. So if you know something, even the smallest thing, contact the Guards, call Crime Stoppers, say the thing you've been holding in. And if you don't know anything, then say her name, talk about her, share this story, because silence is what let her killer walk free. And after 38 years, it's time to end the silence, fade to black. Antoinette Smith, 1960 to 1987, still waiting for justice.